Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michon and I do weekly DIYs, hauls, and other fun things. If you're not new, hey doll, hey! So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Cricut Maker. Have you ever wondered if you want to buy a Cricut or if you already have one, what you can do with them? Now, we all know that we can cut vinyl and make different kind of signs, phrases, shapes, and things like that. But this video, I want to dig a little deeper and show you guys some of the other items that I was able to cut using my Cricut Maker. I really hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're new, I would love if you would consider subscribing and hitting the bell right next to it so you're notified every time that I upload. Today's video is sponsored by Cricut, and I'm super excited to be partnering with them again to show you some of the other things you can cut other than vinyl. So let's start with the obvious one, vinyl. Of course, we know we can cut all sizes and colors of vinyl. I've done it here on my channel a bunch of times, but I've also been trying out their infusible ink. I absolutely love that product. You can either get the infusible ink pens or markers, or you can get the infusible ink transfer sheets. In this video, I'm showing you how to use the infusible ink transfer sheets, and they are so easy. Now with the transfer sheets, I am using my Easy Press 2. So if you have an Easy Press and any of the styles that Cricut offers, you also know that there is a heat guide involved. So you just go to Cricut.com and look for their heat guide. What I do is go to Google and just search Cricut heat guide, and it tells me all of the things that I need to do to make sure that my transfer gets onto my base material. Now the other one with the infusible ink pens, I'm not showing in this video, but it kind of works the same way. Just kind of writes on the laser copy paper, and then you transfer that on with your Easy Press or your iron. And then with the infusible ink, you need to make sure that you have a compatible blank to go along with it. Now I chose the coaster blanks and the tote bags as well as the cosmetic bags from Cricut, and the links will be in my description box below, so you can go ahead and shop on Cricut.com and pick up all the things that you need. The other items that I'm loving working with are going to be some cardstock. Cardstock has been so much fun, and those are some seriously easy projects, super simple. So this video is going to be a two-part video series on what you can make and cut with your Cricut. Today we are discussing the Cricut Maker. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut with your Cricut using cardstock. So I have this cardstock sampler. It's about 4 different colors in here, and I'm just going to use a plain white sheet. So what I did was I logged into my Cricut Design Space account, and I go up to my projects, and then I go to my favorites. So I've already had a few of these favorite projects in here that are ready to make. So I choose the one that I want to frame up, and then all I do is click Make It. And then it already just sets everything up. Since this is a ready to make project, it just sets it up on the mat the way you need. So you can resize it if you want, but I chose to just go ahead and make it. And once it is connected to my maker, then I click the material, which is cardstock, and I always go to the pressure for more, so that way it makes sure that it cuts and writes on it really precisely. And then for this project, I'm using a black pen as well as my blade. And so it prompts me to put in my pen, and then it writes on there. So it's drawing on it, and then after it's finished drawing, it'll cut out the image into the perfect square that it is. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what the time, I mean, obviously this is sped up, but this is how it basically looks when you're doing it. And then I just framed it in a picture frame from Dollar Tree and put a jute bow on top. Super easy. The next few things that my Cricut Maker can make are compatible with infusible ink. So I have these transfer sheets, and then I can use some coasters. I can also use some aluminum sheets and also some tote bags or cosmetic bags. So what I'm doing is doing the tote bag. So I went to Design Space and typed in summer. I really wanted a nice summer tote bag. So I chose this phrase that says summer vibes, and I absolutely love this. With this, you can resize it how you want. I usually always go over to the lock and unlock it, so that way I can make it long or as wide as I want. And then I go ahead and lock that back and then click make it. And then for these ones, anything using infusible ink where you need to iron it on, you're going to have to mirror it. So what I did is I moved the vibes word from the second mat to the first mat, and then I clicked on mirror. So that mirrors the image, so it goes on, it cuts out backwards, and then that way it'll come onto your surface correctly. And then I just clicked on the material that I was using, my infusible transfer sheet, clicked on more for my pressure, and then started to make it. So then it cut it out. And it is so beautiful. Look at this print. It's just so pretty. I absolutely love this. This is a different one for my coasters, but I had my little helper, Caleb, there helping me get all of my stuff out. And he was super excited to help out. So then next, now that I got all of my weeding out for this, I didn't show you that part because it would have been a really long video. And I'm not a Cricut expert, but I mean, I'm pretty intermediate with it. So all I did was put a sheet of cardstock inside of my tote bag. And all I'm doing is following the instructions for the Cricut heat guide. Just go to Google, type in Cricut heat guide, or just go to Cricut.com and the heat guide will be there and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So for this one, I had to put some cardstock inside of the bag, put my image on top face down, and then put some butcher paper on top of that, put it on for 360 for 80 seconds, and there we go. It says to let this you take it off when it's warm. So it was still pretty hot. So I just let it sit for a few more minutes till it cooled down. And then I removed the tape that it was on there. And this is how it turned out. So pretty. I absolutely love this bag. And it's going to be so cute when I take it to the beach. The next material that I can cut is this genuine leather. Oh my God, my mind was blown when I saw this. So I went back to my Cricut design space and then chose my favorites again. And I saw this ready to make luggage tag. So I knew that it was something that I wanted to make. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and customize it because obviously that's not my name and my number. So what I did is just selected all of the ones that I wanted to delete. And I just am making a blank luggage tag right now. I'll put vinyl or something else on it later. But all I did was just measure it down to fit the size that my leather actually was, because it wasn't that long. And then again, once I made it, once it was customized to my liking, just clicked on make it, and then the base material is genuine leather. And then I went to cut it, and then it cut it out, and then I just kind of pulled it apart. The pressure for this, when I clicked on more, it didn't cut all the way through. I don't know if I need maybe like a better knife blade or something. I don't know. Let me know if you're more well-versed in Cricut, leather cutting. But this is how it turned out once I took everything off and cut down the little frayed edges. So cute on my luggage, right? Love it. And then, of course, we know that Cricut cuts out vinyl. That's what most people use their Cricuts for, but you can also use stencil vinyl. And this always helps if you're run out of a particular color of vinyl or whatever. So this is my first time actually trying this. And so I went to Cricut Design Space and I searched Farmhouse. And I really wanted to make a sign that said Farmhouse-ish. And so I just typed the word ish, I-S-H, and just decided to figure out which farmhouse word I wanted to match it with. And I chose the more of the bold, like standard letters or whatever. Probably not standard, but you know what I'm talking about. And then I just resized everything the way that I wanted to fit on the sign that I was using, selected it all, and then grouped it all together. And when you group it all together, it just moves in one motion. Then I went to click make it, and then I had to go and find my material. It wasn't on the first 2 lines, so I just had to go search more materials, and then I found stencil vinyl, selected that, clicked done, and then it started to cut it out. And so for this sign, as that's cutting out, I'm just going to go ahead and take a Love Dollar Tree sign and then cover the back or the front with some brown craft paper, because y'all know me, I don't have time to be trying to pull the paper out or sand things down. So I just covered it up, flipped it over, painted it white, gave myself some little faux shiplaps lines, and then this is what my stencil looks like after it's cut out. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a little while to get this off because it was wording, so it was just really weird. I had small strips, and so I'm probably just gonna go back and watch Mr. Crafty Pants and Jennifer Maker just to get a little bit better ease on how this works. I just wanted to show you guys the different ways and different items that you can cut on your Cricut Maker if you're thinking about getting that. So once I was finally able to get everything down on this sign, then I took my ink chalk paint from Waverly and just painted over all of that. Super easy once you get it down and once you get the stencil off. And I really, really love the ease and how clean it is. Usually you get a lot of bleeding for like certain stencils, but this one was great. Now I got some bleeding, I'm not gonna lie, because my stencil just wasn't flush to my sign as much as I wanted, but it worked out for me in the farmhouse-ish way that I was looking for. So once it was dry, I took the stencil off and weeded out all the other little pieces, and then I took a small chippy brush and just went with the little bleeding that I had and just distressed the sign a whole lot more. And it's even more distressed. I went back to it off camera and did a lot more. Then I just wrapped some twine around the sides of each side of this sign, and then I didn't use any hot glue. I just kind of cut it off and then tied it in a knot in the back, and then I wrapped some twine around the stem of some greenery and then hot glued that to the corner at the end of the work because it was a void space, and you guys know me and my void spaces, we don't get along. And that's how it turned out. So cute, right? I love this. That's all I have for you today. I really hope you were able to get some inspiration, more information, and more knowledge on what you can make with your Cricut Maker and what you could cut. It was really fun to bring this to you guys. Let me know in the comments below any other tips you may have for me, any other suggestions, what you want to see in the next video, which we'll be discussing the Cricut Joy. Until then, be blessed, stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!